had been wary of commenting on the coronavirus. It would seem, especially in 2020, but more generally the last few years, nothing actually happens. There is often a large internet hysteria, but beyond that, whatever the fears might be for the specific instance never materialize. However, it's quickly becoming clear that the internet doesn't have a good grasp on the scope of the coronavirus. I understand many people have been distracted by the Kobe Bryant situation and have turned their attention elsewhere. However, just last night we received confirmation by Chinese officials that the confirmed case rate of the coronavirus had reached 22,000 people.
Hubei province, and altogether the confirmed cases is 22,744 and 80 deaths, and the suspected cases is 5,000. It's the people with close contact is 5,794. And in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau, 8 cases were found in HK, 5 were found in Macau, and 4 found in Taiwan region.
To put that in perspective, if you've been following this outbreak, on Saturday they said there were 1,500 confirmed cases. The following day, Sunday, the 26th, they then confirmed there were 22,000. Mind you, China is still trying to do everything within its power to limit the embarrassment this epidemic has caused its country. Because fundamentally, for a country trying to prove that it's modern and can compete on the world stage, something along the lines of bat soup is in no way civilized and looks bad on the entire country. Grant you, I should mention that for most Chinese people, bat soup is absolutely repulsive. It would seem that this sort of delicacy is specific to the Wuhan city in particular and the surrounding province, but not indicative of the entire country. With that said, let's really examine the facts. This means we're going to look at how this virus first started. I'm sure many of you are aware of its connections to bat soup. However, I would like to quickly point out that the virus that we're seeing now, the coronavirus, is completely harmless among bats, but because of its contact in an illegal underground wildlife market, these bats came into contact with other exotic animals, and the virus was able to spread first to that animal before finally spreading out to the people. There is speculation that it was some jungle cat, but we're not quite clear, or no one has confirmed that theory yet. This means the virus has mutated and contaminated humans. This happened at the beginning of the Chinese New Year. If you're not familiar with the Chinese New Year, what it is basically a week-long holiday where almost the entire country travels either to some sort of vacation destination or back to their hometowns, but either way you have hundreds of millions of people on the roads and in planes spending an exorbitant amount of money. This is very important for the Chinese economy. So the fact that this is happening this week tells us two things. A, number one, it had the best chance to spread, and number two, the Chinese government would have done everything in its power to limit the outbreak and to stop this epidemic. Not just because they don't want their people infected, but because of the money that's being spent, because of the travel that's happening and taking place. This was the worst possible week for this to happen. This means we have a virus that came from bat contamination taking place on the worst possible week in the Chinese calendar, making them lose the most possible money. And then when we get to the symptoms, you'll see how really nefarious this is. Because the symptoms take a full 10 days to display, it means that even more people were infected, because fundamentally, there's no way you could have known you were infected if you didn't display any of the symptoms. And that's how we get to this weekend, where we jump from 1,500 confirmed cases on Saturday to 22,000 the next day. Now, I don't know what the number is today on January 27th, but if we imagine that growth rate, it's going to be astronomical. Of course, I'll keep watching this story as it develops, but I want to remind everyone, start to take some precautions, whether that means buying a little bit more canned goods, wearing a mask in public, one of those hospital masks, or simply eating a little better this week to make sure your immune system is capable of dealing with this virus. I would like to thank you all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe or like. It's important that we get this information out there, so make sure to share this video, and I'll keep you all posted. Thank you.